Alright guys, so a little bit of background is needed for the beginning of this video. So here I am, sailing in my Nievny, just trying to get through my boosts and bonuses and stuff, and nothing really particularly special about this battle except for what happens coming up here. So you'll see, as I'm arriving up at this part up here, we've got a couple friendlies ahead, an Omaha and Mayhan, and what you'll notice is the enemy ships. So, an enemy Mayhan, and then behind him in a moment you'll see an enemy Furutaka. The Furutaka becomes my focus, as I'll show you when you can see him coming up here. For those of you who don't know the Furutaka, it's a Japanese cruiser. It starts out with 6-kilometer torpedoes, and then it gets the 10-kilometer torpedoes as an upgrade. There he is. So you can see on the Furutaka, he's got, rather than the default 6 turrets, 6 single-gun turrets, 3 up front, 3 in the back, he's got 3 quad turrets, 2 in the front, and look at all the torpedoes they just fired between that destroyer and the Furutaka there. So the Furutaka is my big focus right here. I can tell he's got the B-hull because of the way his turrets are, which means he's probably also got the 10-kilometer torpedoes. So that's what I'm mostly concerned with here. He is priority target number 1. Now as I'm firing, he's getting closer, and my torpedoes are 4-kilometer limit. So I'm focused in, and as soon as he breaks through 4 kilometers, I turn and immediately punch my torpedoes off. And don't even notice that the Omaha right there is... oh my god, it's so terrible. Didn't even notice until I fired the torpedoes that he was already fully in view on the right side of the screen. I was so focused on my target to shoot torpedoes at that I didn't even notice what was going on the rest of my screen. So I felt so bad. And then while I'm typing here and apologizing, just hoping that the team's not going to crucify me in chat, I crash into the island there. And I felt so bad, because that Omaha was pretty much full health, or he was full health, I didn't even notice just now, but just to prove that, hopefully prove that it was not an intentional team kill, I'll show you guys the continuing fire into the enemy Mayhan here that finishes him off and I get a kill. And then we'll move on to the actual meat of this video, which is the 4 kills in my Cleveland, which happened a couple battles later. And this is all just to show why I have a pink name in the rest of the battle for the Cleveland, which I knocked out about 3 or 4 battles later and got back to non-team killer status, so. There we go. That's just the background for why I have the pink name in the Cleveland video. And with that, on to the Cleveland. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel for a World of Warships Wednesday, today with the USS Cleveland Tier 6 cruiser. It is a beast of a AAA ship, but sometimes it's really difficult to get a battle with aircraft carriers, so when that happens, you've just got to go with what you've got and go anti-ship, which luckily, the Cleveland really does excel at, actually. The rapid fire you can put out with the guns on the Cleveland, you can really do some damage. And you can start a lot of fires, and you can also do a lot of... excuse me. Darn it. You can do a lot of armor-piercing damage as well, as you'll see in this video, which I really didn't expect, but most of the time in the Cleveland up to until this point, I was pretty much a HE shell firing only Cleveland captain, and I switched up a bunch of times here and fired armor-piercing shells, and the results really speak for themselves, as you'll see. So initially, at the start, just kind of sailing up towards the middle here.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon. Waypoint reached.
And of course, there are 2 carriers on each team in this battle, but I really don't have a whole lot of interaction with their planes. And this ends up being a ship-killing battle, of course. I was really, honestly, my plan was to shoot down about 57 airplanes, but that just didn't come to fruition. I got into ship-to-ship combat just too early, so. So first target comes into view here, this Nuremberg. Give him a little pepper spray with some hot, spicy HE shells. And of course missed terribly because it was the initial shot. So, gonna come back around here and circle back around and go parallel with him and see how much damage I can do. So in just a moment, he'll clear the other side of that island and we'll be sailing parallel, which is such an easy shot to make in this game. Just so much easier than trying to calculate the lead on a converging target than it is on a parallel target. And with that said, of course, I promptly shoot too far behind him, but I did get one hit. With a little bit of adjustment, though, boy, wait till you see... Wait to see how good these get, quickly. You can really do a lot of damage, even with the HE shells in the Cleveland. You can put out a high volume of shells very quickly. Do a lot of damage.
Torpedoes to starboard.
But if you switch over to the armor-piercing shells, and you start getting citadels on enemy cruisers, boy, you can really rack up damage in a hurry. And you knock somebody down to that much health, they're not going to survive a full salvo of broadsides, armor-piercing shells. So there's the first kill for the team there. And then more cruisers just sail right into view here. More citadels, look at that.
Confirmed penetration.
3 citadels, and look how much damage it did to this guy. This guy never had any chance at all. And I very nearly lost the chance to kill him here, but I do end up getting HE in on him, which takes him out for a very, very quick second kill.
Enemy cruiser destroyed.
So glad I switched over and used armor-piercing shells a bunch here.
Attention, reporting a target position.
So, a little bit of a miss on those salvos, but... Took a tiny bit of damage there, but not as bad as it could have been. Most of the armor kind of blocked that off, so... We got that Phoenix sailing in reverse now, but I've got to... If he's sailing in reverse, he's not that much of a threat for moving and getting mobile. So I'm going to go after the threat that's closer to my team here. Didn't get as many hits as I was hoping there, but it did also give me the idea that, obviously, I got to aim a little bit farther ahead. Again, there are not as many hits, but that was mostly due to the peppering of the shells rather than the aim was good, the range just was goofy. So I can see him starting to turn, and right as I fire what probably wouldn't have been more than a 50% salvo of hits, he gets annihilated and totally destroyed, so no problem. There's plenty of targets around. We'll just switch over to the next ones. And just barely miss again, as usual. But usually within the first miss, you can recalculate and get a pretty good second fire in. Especially if people don't maneuver, like he didn't maneuver here. And it really is lovely to be firing broadsides at a target who is not paying attention to you at all and is shooting at someone else. There's not much better than that, except maybe catching an AFK battleship. And this poor guy sailed right into the island. He was so focused in on what he was doing. Just no chance.
Enemy cruiser found.
Kill number 3 on an immobile target. And we basically just completely wiped out the enemy team from the west side of the map at a nearly 2-to-1 kill ratio. So, quite a trouncing we gave them over here in the west, and now it's time to basically regroup, sail to the north, and find more targets, because most of the enemy team is over on the east side of the map now, and I'm completely on the west. There is, of course, on the minimap, an enemy destroyer basically inside our cap. That's bad news. So, Hawaiian dude there is going to head back towards the cap, so I decided to press forward with the escorting our Congo here, the battleship next to me, and just press in against this Haruna, and whatever else is up here in their cap. I'm pretty confident that our guys down there at our cap can deal with the enemy destroyer. Between the cruiser and the carrier with his airplanes, they should be able to deal with it. We've got a huge number advantage in ships, so I'm not going to head back there as well. I'm going to press in and see if I can't get more kills. I was kind of thinking the possibility of a crack in here, but not really so much. The nice thing is, when this battle happened, it's July right now of 2016, and the free premium ship giveaway is going on, and you've got to get 150 kills in the month of July. So any round like this is very, very good, and I've had a couple 4-kill rounds so far this month, so definitely been helping out. Slowly picking off some aircraft here, and this was just such a beautiful target presented to me. It's not often that you get an enemy ship that's backing up, not maneuvering, and has his guns pointed away from you, and you're able to just pour shells into his unprotected back. Unfortunately, as you'll see, I'm able to get a pretty decent amount of damage in on him, but just somebody else is going to beat me to the kill. I'm getting a bunch of secondary hits on him as well. Set him on fire. I mean, 10 kills, or 10 hits there, rather. And there it is. The torpedoes just ripped him apart. And like I said in chat, boy, it's just too bad the Cleveland doesn't get torpedoes, because that was the most beautiful torpedo target you could pretty much hope for, aside, of course, from an AFK player. So I'm racking up quite the decent number of hits here so far with the main guns. And a not terrible number of secondary guns for not having manual control of the secondaries. My crew was doing pretty good there as well. So now I can see where their aircraft carrier is, obviously, by where their aircraft are heading back to. But if you look up here, our Furutaka is in really bad shape. With only 10 HP left, he is not going to last too long. Watch the hits he gets with his torpedoes there on the Omaha. And then, unfortunately, he gets knocked out a second later. There was really very little chance of him surviving that unless he got a devastating strike with his torpedoes. So, unfortunately, he was not able to get the kill there on this Omaha. But I won't let the Omaha get away with that, I promise. Now our Congo is off to the left of me here, and I don't see him when I'm zoomed in, but I'm going to crash into him in a second, which is almost perfectly timed with these hits, I think. Or maybe it's these hits. Yeah, there it is. And unfortunately, since I had team killer status at the time, the rubbing paint penalty here was greatly magnified. But we're almost at the end of the battle, and if you watch here, one last Citadel and one last fourth kill. One last kill for the fourth kill for the end of the battle. So pretty darn good. 76,000 damage, 142 hits, 8 aircraft shot down, 4 ships destroyed, 6 Citadels, sorry, and 5 secondary hits. I was pretty pleased with that. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Here's the rest of the scores, and I hope you guys keep watching my World of Warships videos, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.